Hello, everyone. Welcome back to episode 34 of our Coordinator Climb series here on Football Coach College Dynasty. This is my second stream today. Has it ever been done? Answer yes, by probably many of people. But we weren't able to stream Monday or Wednesday due to unforeseen complications. And so I thought I'd make up for it by streaming twice today. That way I could have a video upload to YouTube Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So that is my plan. May it succeed. For our purposes today, if you missed last episode, I highly recommend you check it out. We go through the transfer portal, off season, life in the Pac 10 at Utah. What's it going to look like? And unfortunately, we missed out on two of our top transfer targets because the AI was, shall we say, foolish with their money. And so that left me broke functionally. But nonetheless, here we are. When we find ourselves 0 and 1 because I made the executive decision to make money. And so we scheduled JMU week 1 on the road, lost 28-16. I think on balance, pretty fair score. We could not get the run game going at all. I had to throw nearly 50 passes with Patrick at QB, something I said previously in the episode would be like the worst case scenario. So I am a genius. But yeah, I think not the greatest start we could have had, but as anyone who has played this game a decent amount knows, James Madison turns into one of the powerhouses of college football and then promptly loses to a Big Ten or SEC school in the first round of the playoff every year. So I've done a little bit of recruiting off stream, which I'll recap after this game against Fresno State, because for the first time as head coach, we are in a new conference. We are in the Pac 10, which in reality right now is the Pac 12. And we are in, I think, a easier division, however, a more competitive division. Here's what I mean. In the Pac 10 West, you have the powerhouses that are Washington and Oregon, even though I looked, Oregon has had a very poor save. Like they have sub 500 season ends there. They've never made the playoffs, but I still view them as a powerhouse. Washington, obviously, in this game becomes one of the best teams in the nation. Stanford's put together some pretty good years. Fresno State, kings of the Mountain West, realignment has destroyed them. So, meanwhile, on the east side, you have teams that are all pretty similar in terms of talent. Like it's either an 82, 83, San Diego State, I guess, with an 84. Defensively is where things get crazy. Arizona has a top 10 defense. Other than that, everyone's, 83, 84, 85. So we'll see how that shakes out. Um, I don't think we'll win the division in year one. I think that's a pretty tough stretch. Um, I spoke on this last episode, but we have the worst front seven in the Pac 12 if, for example, Ojeda goes down or Crum, Bowman, De La Cruz. Like, it's a paper thin front seven. So I think we're going to have some struggles defensively. So our offense may need to pick up the slack, as it were. Last thing I want to touch on before we get into our Fresno State game was just a quick recap of player promises. So Luca Heda, I promised he'd win Defensive Player of the Year. Will he? Probably not. But for the price of 10 integrity, I get one of the best defensive players in the country on my team for a year. I'll take it. Aaron Patrick was promised 200 attempts. He is already nearly a quarter of the way there, and we have played one game of football. And then Jeffrey Montgomery get 150 carries. So in other words, he has to average essentially like probably 11, 12 per game. Um, and I would assume that loss against JMU is the time where we are going to run the least and pass the most. So donor goals, two diamond goals. First is to have a running back earn all conference. Second is to hold opponents to less than 28 points per game. I think both of those are fairly doable. Gold, be Air Force, score 25 points in at least 3 games, and then pass for 250 yards against South Florida. It should be noted that even though the schedule is definitely the quickest way for me to get there. I threw it about 50 times to get 300 offensive yards. So if we want 250 pass yards against USF, we're going to have to throw the rock quite a bit. And then finally, hold at least 3 opponents to 25 points or fewer. So those are the goals. We face off against Fresno State to open today's games. They've sucked. The king of Mountain West moved to the Pac-10 and have struggled ever since. They were 132nd last season in points per game. So I anticipate this to be a blowout win. We're only favored by 4.5 points. Fresno State does have 3 recruits visiting. No one I care about, though. And it looks like Utah has beaten Fresno State the past couple tries. So I think we should win this game. This should be a blowout win. And hopefully we can get some donor goals progressed along the way. So Fresno State won the toss. They elected to receive. I elected to blitz. 3rd and 8 will switch to man. Incomplete. And they punt. All right. Very good from our defense. Jeffrey Montgomery getting me 1 yard is less good. Hashtag analysis. Everett Ryan gets me 13. Very, very nice. There we go. Montgomery gets me 10 and then 11. That pitch, probably not the best idea. 3rd and 8. Let's try double unders. Incomplete. We will take a field goal and be up 3-0 as Fresno State punts. 3rd and 5. I'm going to do hitches. There we go. We get the conversion. It's always a shame when I beat up on Fresno State because if you've watched my previous coaching series on the channel, The Journeyman, when we went to Fresno State, we became the greatest school in the nation. John Lane rattling off a 42-yard touchdown run. That'll play. Very good from him. I wish that was Jeffrey Montgomery. I think that would help his stats and carries a lot, but what can you do? As Fresno State punts again. The AI wants me to go for it. I am not going to go for it on 4th and 2. I'm going to punt. My argument being, yeah, it's a pretty long punt. They get it their own 20. So if we get a quick 3 and out, which we did not, we would have had good field position. And there we go. Elvin Ivy, the true sophomore, with the sack, but they get a touchdown and miss the extra point. All right. There we go. Jeffrey Montgomery, 48 yards. That'll play. 3rd and 2. I'm going to run it. And if we don't get it, I'm going for it. All right, we got it. We're in business. 3rd and 6. Let's try Y corner. Gets me to the 1. Very good. And Jeffrey Montgomery runs it in for the touchdown. Very nice. And Fresno State is moving, and they're picked off Gavin Douglas, who then returned it 25 yards. Very impressive. See if we can't get another touchdown here. Let it fly. All right. He did not. 3rd and 9. Fresno State used the timeout. Incomplete. Yeah. Oh, well. We'll punt. They have a long way to go. And they decide not to even attempt the 3rd and 6 play, which, fair enough. That's their prerogative. All right. We start with the ball. John Lane just got a couple carries back to back. Have I lost Montgomery? Oh, there he is. Okay. There we go. Rodney Butler, 31 yards. Look at him getting involved. And he runs it in for a touchdown. 24-6. Fresno State punts once again. Nothing there or there. We punt. Fresno State punts again, and we have wonderful field position. Montgomery gets me the first. Marshall Conway into the red zone. Very good, lads. And John Lane runs it in for a touchdown. Oh boy, we're having a pretty good day offensively, I would say. Oh man, I didn't expect them to run it on 2nd and whatever it was, like 11, but maybe I should have. Well, they convert on 3rd and 5 after doing 4 verts. All right, they kick a field goal. Starters are still in because they made the field goal. But when it gets under 5 minutes, the backups will come in. All right, there we go. Backups are now in offensively. I just kind of want to keep running it. Nope, never mind. All right, we'll kick another field goal. Yeah, this game certainly turned into a blowout as I expected and hoped. 4th and 6. Incomplete. All right, we blow out Fresno State 34-9. Much better day on the ground. 8.2 yards a rush. Very, very good. No turnovers also, because we turned it over twice against JMU. So happy with that. Montgomery had 15 carries, 131 yards. John Lane got a couple touchdowns. Obviously, he had that insane run. Butler got a touchdown. Happy days. Happy days indeed. We are undefeated in the Pac-10. I should just call it the Pac-12. Like, there's 12 teams in it. In this universe, as we're like, what, 12 years down the road? I'm just going to call it the Pac-12. Oh, that's a problem. Lucas Copeland is hurt. Well, what do I want to do about that? We don't have great wide receiver depth. It is only 2 weeks. Yeah, I'm going to move him to inactive. That means I kind of want to take Everett Ryan out of returner, but that's fine. Yeah, so Copeland will sit for a couple weeks. I'm going to play Mark McCullough. His 68 catching terrifies me, but he does have 94 speed, so we could always hope and pray for something insanely impressive. And it's only 2 games. One of which is against Stanford and the other one against Arizona. Nice. All right. Before we get into anything else, let's look at recruiting. So I'm going for a small recruiting class. We have almost 40 True freshman or redshirt freshman. I don't need an insane class in terms of size. So I think 21 is a good number. All right, we're not going after any 5 stars. Surprise, surprise, no one was interested. We are looking at a lot of 4-star prospects. We made the executive decision, I think, to go after Dustin Muhammad as our potential QB of the future, which I think is the correct decision. He has A minus potential. Arm strength is solid. Accuracy is okay. IQ of 70 is a little scary because you always run the risk of that A minus potential getting worse and his IQ just not getting a lot better. That said, I can schedule a visit with him. I think I want to get the USF game. All right, there we go. Think we're good. I think if I just stare at OBS long enough, it'll not break again. I'm annoyed at Montero because had we found him earlier in the offseason, I think we'd be clear ahead on the Sun Devils. He also is the least athletic linebacker I've ever seen, so I'm not too banged up about it. With Graves, I think week 9. Uh oh, Utah State had a really good visit for someone. And Roger Ruff, I'll add him to wide receiver. UCF game. All right, so Utah State. Yeah, I mean, they beat Wyoming, but they lost points because of game atmosphere. I'm not too worried. And Theodore Sykes, I mean, nothing about him blows you away, but he's got really good athleticism. His coverage is already 69 on both, which in this case is nice. And he's got a potential. So the wanting to be a star thing is not an issue because if the potential is real and he develops well, he'll play. If it doesn't, then he'll just be a backup for a couple years, get mad, and transfer out. And at that point, it does not matter because he was not developing well. So, of the 21, we're currently ahead on 19. It looks like Washington just offered a scholarship to the kicker we want, Sean Webster. I made a joke about this last episode. I'm almost tempted to just write Webster a check for $500,000 because he's going to be a really good kicker. He's not going to be like the best ever because the kick power is only a 77, but like he might be worth $500,000. But I am trying to avoid the trap of spending NIL money on recruits because especially with how the AI likes to do it, much better to save money in the transfer portal so that you can snipe players after the AI ran out of money because they offered a bajillion dollars to various recruits. I do have a little bit of a fear we're going to fall behind on a lot of these guys, but we have the later visit on when do I? Yeah, I'm third on Carrillo. Houston has not scheduled yet for Muhammad. I'm second on Barber. I think we'll be okay. I hope we'll be okay, at the very least. We'll see. All right, so now we're facing Stanford, who is ranked. They're coming off of a 9-4 season, very good. 2-0, they beat Houston and they beat the aforementioned Sun Devils. Ooh, they have a very nice looking QB that they finally decided to play now that he has an 84 overall. Well, man, not too many blemishes on his stat line there. Stanford, wow. I just realized we play, yeah, of our first, what, 7 games, only 2 of them are at home. That's partially by design. But when you lay it out like that, it sounds rough. All right, Stanford's favored by 6.5. They have 4 recruits visiting, none of whom I care about, but my old friend Vanderbilt evidently wants this O lineman. Going to be honest, he does not look very good. All right, so far in the sim, as you can see, this has not exactly been the most competitive series ever, but hopefully we can get a big upset win here. Start looking good. Stanford won the toss. They elect to receive. That is okay with me. We shall blitz. All right, 3rd and 6. Oh, they got 12. And then they got 35. The AI does so much for verts. It really is crazy. Oh, man. 2nd and goal at the 2. I'm going to go goal line. Yeah, I mean, they ran it up the middle anyway. Well, teams have certainly had more difficulty scoring on us as Stanford essentially walked down the field there. But Jeffrey Montgomery does get me a 1st down. So let the record show we did not go 3 and out. 3rd and 5 levels. It worked. We got 9. Very good. Everett Ryan, who is now my top wide receiver for the next couple weeks, gets me the 1st. Incomplete. That was a bad play call by me. But nonetheless, we punt. 3rd and 6. Yeah, I'll blitz. Oh, they ran it to the outside. Wow, they are annihilating our zone. Well, I think we're gonna have some trouble against these guys. 3rd and 6. Let it fly. Incomplete. I might turn blitz heavy. And that's why, as Emiliano McClendon gets the sack. It's also definitely Emilio, not Emiliano. Okay, we forced a punt. Let's see if we can't get something going here. 9 yards to McNeil. Very good. The jet sweep worked. We're just going to slowly crawl our way across this field. 3rd and 2 at the 28. I'm going to run it. And if I get like a yard or even 0, I'm going to go for it on 4th down. There we go. Montgomery got me the 1st. Very good. We're at the 11. I'm going to run it once. That gets me 5. And a play action pass to Marshall Conway gets us the touchdown. We're on the board. Big tackle for a loss there by true sophomore Ivy. And then they get 12. I can't win. There we go. Ronan Bowman with a pick 6 taking 63 yards all the way to the house. That'll play. Extra point is good. We have a tie ball game. Very good there from Bowman. 3rd and 10. Oh, they got the 1st. Man. Yeah, look at that. They got the 1st and then boom, 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 boom. Walked down the field. All right, we're going up tempo, obviously. We have nothing to lose. We got all 3 timeouts. We suddenly now only have 1 timeout. Oh, man. Why would I go for it here? If I go for it and don't get it, Stanford needs 10 yards for a field goal. We're going to punt. We've had better punts than that, I must admit. All right, they're out of timeouts. And yet. How? Wait a minute. You're telling me with a straight face. Let me look at the log on that. Hold on. Because I know the clock stops when you get a first down. However, it should go again when you get up to the line. I don't think there's a mathematical chance that you get a 10-yard pass off when four guys are doing verticals that it only burns 5 seconds. They missed the field goal. Ha ha. Justice. Nine yards to stop the clock. Let's see if we can get a touchdown off of a jet sweep. And we got 14 yards. All right. Good news is we're down only by 7. Bad news is they're averaging essentially a first down a pass, and we've only gotten in the end zone once as an offense. So this is a big drive here as Byers gets me a first down already. Thank you, sir. Montgomery gets me 16. Folks, we're moving. Montgomery, 18 yards. That'll play. 3rd and 4. I am going to run it. And if we don't get it, I think I go for it. Why was Rodney Butler the fullback in that situation? Is he the fullback on here? No. Do I want him as the fullback? No, he has 59 strength. What are we doing, game? What are we doing? Well, that was annoying. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go for it. Then we do have an entire half left to play. I am going to kick the field goal to go down by 4. That might come back to bite me, but I think our defense has been good enough where if we get a quick stop, score a touchdown, we'll have the lead. There we go. Incomplete on 3rd and 1. Stanford punts. A second down sack is not what we needed there, and we have to give the ball right back. Oh, that's annoying. There we go. Emilio with another sack. Come on. And they missed the field goal. They've missed 2 of those now. That could be the difference in this game. All right. In Stanford territory. Let's try to run it. John Lane gets me the first. Okay. I think despite appearances in how the game against JMU went, we are a run-first team. 3rd and 2, you already know. John Lane gets me the first. 1st and goal at the 4. I'm going to pass it once, and unless we get sacked, I'm going to run it 3 times. Okay, incomplete. We're going to run it 3 times. 1. No need. Jeffrey Montgomery walks it in for a touchdown. We're up by 3. There we go. Tackle for loss on 1st down, and they get 30 yards. This is why we can't have nice things, folks. Look at that. They just threw it to the same guy 3 times in a row and killed us. They got the touchdown off the run. All right. Stanford has the lead. And it is 4 points. So a field goal, I think, at this point is not an option unless we're backed up huge. There we go. Montgomery gets me the first. That sack sucks. There we go. 19 yards to Ahmad. Let's go. Converted on 2nd and 2. I'm keeping shoe clock on. That might come back to bite me, but my hope is I can score a touchdown and leave Stanford with like 2 minutes left. There we go. Montgomery runs it in. Now, I am going to go for 2. My reason being, either a field goal beats us or it ties the game. I don't love our chances in overtime anyway. So I'd rather go for 2 to try to guarantee that they had to get in the end zone. And we get it. Ahmad McNeil with the reception. Okay. Stanford needs a touchdown. And they just burned their first time out. Incomplete. I'm going to keep blitzing. Oh, they got us. And an interception. Ronan Bowman again. Picks off the quarterback. Okay. Stanford has one timeout left. So we get one first down, we win the game. And I am going to run it 3 times. I'm not passing it. 3rd and 3. No dice. Is there any benefit to kicking the field goal? I almost want to just go for it. Because if I go for it and don't get it, they have a minute to get 70 yards. Yeah, I'll take that. We're going to go for it. And we get it. Montgomery gets the first. That's your ball game. We have upset number 16 Stanford on the road. Thank you. Thank you. They went 7 of 10 on 3rd down. We went 3 of 9. Oh, boy. That was an insane game. Let me look at the win probability. Like Stanford had an 80% chance to win after they got that touchdown. And then we just took it, got it. I mean, heck, I think Bowman deserves the game ball. Like he got 2 interceptions, one was a pick 6, had 3 tackles in his own right. Montgomery, for the 2nd game in a row, had 100 yards rushing. He could get all conference. Obviously, he's not going to get 100 yards a game, but if he gets close, and he had a couple touchdowns, we could have something special there. McCullough had 1 catch coming in off the bench. Pretty good distribution, I would say. Yeah, I mean, and they missed 2 kicks. So if they make them both, the whole fabric of this game changes. But that's a massive win against Stanford. Okay. That'll do. That'll do. It's not a divisional game, which in this case sucks because that would give us a big leg up in our division. But hey, I'll take the win. We are now 2-0 in Pac-10 play. Quit. Oh, Ruben, no. Ruben. Well, that's a little annoying. Six weeks, you say? I mean, that's not season ending, but it's close. And like, he wouldn't play. Like, I wouldn't play him over Jace Logan. So, like, is it worth it to drop him to 8? I don't think so. I think we're just going to move him to inactive. That sucks for the senior. So now I'm going to drop down to a 7-man O-line. Like, I can't have Brendan Nelson out there. Like, the man has 65 pass block, 74 strength. Like, at a certain point, there has to be a line in the sand. I think that's just the line in the sand. But that's really rough that we lose West. Because he was one of our. Yeah, I think he probably was our biggest transfer target. Royce Bell obviously had great development, but before that, it was our boy West. All right. I am assembling a walking wounded at present. Okay. Any draft risks besides the one we knew about? Yeah. I don't think 6th round counts as early, so we should be okay. And then, I mean, if a lot of these bad potential guys want to leave, I'm not too upset about it. Brock Turner transferring. I mean, I don't really care about tight end in an air raid offense, but he does have a potential. He's not a great blocker, though. We'll see. We'll see what happens. All right. Any stunning developments on the recruit front? All right. Looks like people are offering money to Reuben Jennings, which is fine. Man, I really like 77 interest. Your defensive coordinator ace pitch is 533. Who's their defensive coordinator? Jose Spencer. Ah, he has 10 recruiting. I see. Yeah, and he has a lot of recruiting buffs. That is a shame. Here's a question, though. What was Lester's? Yeah, Lester's only a 3 because I value training more than recruiting for him. I think that decision has come back to bite me. But, I mean, we're still ahead on 19 of them. It does look like we're going to be in a fight for. I think Sykes will get just by virtue of he's our 3rd visit. Temple is currently undefeated. Good for them. Yeah, we should get a lot of these guys. Ooh, Colorado State had their visit with Louisiana Tech and they lost. Oh no. Yeah, they're out on Martinez. It's looking pretty good recruiting wise, I'd say. I do think where we could have an issue is like I'm going for 3 linebackers, one of whom Edwin Peck is a guarantee, but Jordan Curriel and Montero are pretty similar linebackers. None are really athletic, decently well balanced. It's just that Curriel has really good tackling. And I don't want to run the risk of missing out on both of them. So I'm going for not just one, but we got a pretty good spread, I think, in recruiting. All right, so Arizona is no longer ranked, despite the fact they were ranked last week, won, and are no longer ranked. I'm not going to pretend to understand that. Who they beat? Fresno State. Oh, they scheduled an FCS team. I have no respect for Arizona. We'll beat them by 30. No issue. Okay, they're averaging 33 points a game. That's pretty high. They're the 1.8 opposing rush yards per attempt. Now, here's a question. How much of that is the FCS game? Yeah, because the FCS team only averaged 0.7. Washington State averaged 1.5, and Fresno State 2.7. Yeah, they're pretty good against the rush, but that's one of the reasons I wish FCS schools weren't in like this particular database because you don't need them. Like so many schools are low prestige enough where you just play them. But the FCS stuff skews so many of the numbers. All right, we finally have a home game. I have one recruit visiting, Roger Conley. He's a 4-star wide receiver. He's not particularly anything inspiring, but he's got 80 speed already, 74 catch. If his potential is anything worse than a C plus, we're in trouble. But Arizona is an interested team, so we'll see how it goes. Ooh, it's a pretty good back and forth series here. Let's see how we do. I wonder if we beat, actually, before I go into that, if we beat Arizona, are we going to be ranked? 37, probably not. All right, Arizona calls heads. It is tails. We will defer, as is our want, and we will blitz. Very good. Tackle for a loss on the first play, but they get the first because we are incapable of getting third down stops. 2nd and 5, I'm going to be bold. Blitz them. It did not work. I'm going to stay in goal line. There we go. Back-to-back tackles for loss. 3rd and 6. And they get the touchdown. How did they get someone in the slant? We got a guy in the flat. We got a guy. Man, I would like to see that play out in real time, please. But we're down 7-0. However, we were down 14-0 against Stanford, and we saw how that played out. Oh boy. 4th and 2 midfield. It is on our side, though. Yeah, let's go for it. Let's do it. There we go. Montgomery gets me 2. Very good. Huge. And Everett Ryan over the top, 39 yards. Touchdown, Utah. And Arizona State is already at the 50. Man. There we go. William Archer forces a fumble. Jamie Pryor recovers. That the bubble screen did not work. All right. It does say -4 yards. Don't feel like you need to adjust your screens. 3rd and 3. I mean, honestly, same idea. I'm going to run it. And if we don't get it, I might go for it. We got it anyway. We're okay. There we go. Couple good plays. 0-yard rush. Do I just need to take Rodney Butler out of the rotation? Is that the solution? I ask you. Pass to John Lane gets me 11. Very good. We're at the 12 at the 4. I'm just going to run it 3 times. There we go. Montgomery, touchdown. We have the lead. Engage 8 did not work. You'd be surprised. Good tackle for a loss there. And they punt. Folks, we got a 3rd down stop. It does happen. Oh, boy. I mean, I'm just going to keep running the ball. There we go. Dylan Jenkins gets me 10. Rodney Butler just got 2 carries in a row. I want an investigation launched into my offensive coordinator. Unfortunately, I was not checking the time and kept Q clock on, and thus all the time has been burned. However, we made the field goal. Never punished. But yeah, we could have maybe had a touchdown there. I got the time get away. I let the time get away from me. It does unfortunately happen on occasion. Wow, that was depressing. Incomplete on 1st down, 0-yard run on 2nd down. Let's just let it fly. I am going to punt here on 4th and 3. I think 4th and 3 and 4th and 2, the difference there isn't nothing. And we burn them at the 6. If we get a 3 and out, we might have even better field position. Tackle for a loss from Ojeda. That's awesome. I'm going to blitz him again. There we go. All right. We did not get better field position, but they did punt. And so now, 2 plays later, we're in Arizona territory, already at the 15. The pitch worked. Montgomery runs it in. We're up by 17. I think I may have underestimated our defense's ability. The offense is playing about as well as I thought they would. There we go. Emilio McClendon, another sack. 33-yard run for John Lane. Very good. And then he goes backwards, and Butler gets me nothing. Wow. We just had a massive play, all the momentum in the world. Ooh, at the 2, you say. All right, they got a yard. I'm just going to keep blitzing. There we go. They fumbled. Kimbra forces. Jaden Crum recovers. Takes it 10 feet to the house. Oh, my. And then McClure gets a sack, and they get the first. Sure. Well, they converted the 3rd and 12. All right. I think Arizona is mad right now. 3rd and 7. Let's go, man. Did not work. There we go. Mario Wright with a sack. They kick a field goal. Immense credit must be given to our defense. Arizona scored a touchdown on their opening drive. Their next drives fumble, punt, and a half doesn't count. Punt, forced a fumble, return it for a touchdown, and just allowed a field goal. That is so good from our defense. I think if we get that quality of defense the whole year, we could win the Pac-12, which is kind of insane to think about. All right, backups are now in on offense. 3rd and 3. I'm just going to run it once. We don't get it. I'll punt it back to them. There we go. We burned them at the 3. They did slants and they killed us. All right, they convert that. And all right, they got some points for pride there at the end. But, what can you do? We win 31-16. I think the score obviously looked a lot better before 6 minutes left in the game. But again, we forced multiple turnovers, didn't have any ourselves. Looking pretty good. Montgomery again had 2 more touchdowns. That'll help his all-conference goal. I really hope he gets it. I'd be really annoyed if he doesn't. But it happens. Receiving wise, pretty good. Tight end, again, was never targeted. Oh boy. 10 tackles for loss, 3 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. Very good from the lads. Cower was great on kicks. Pretty good. We're 3-1 after 4. I'm annoyed that Arizona wasn't ranked. They won, lost their ranking, which then in turn makes our win look worse. But if it was an SEC school, they'd be ranked top 10. Okay, good news. Copeland is back. So he's just going to go all the way up to number 1 again. That means McCullough slides out of the depth chart. He only had 1 catch anyway, so that's fine. Poor Kyler. I feel so bad that Kyler Malik got hurt. He's literally on the bottom of my depth chart at D-line, and he got hurt, which is tough. All right. Let me quickly look. Yeah, Rodney Butler transferring. I don't care about too much because I'm redshirting Sage Chaney, the sophomore. But I mean, Butler does have really good ratings, but there's no reason for me to make him the second running back. Like that's just not going to happen. So I think we may have to live with that. Maybe I make him some sort of promise, but I don't really want to. Conley, oh yeah, come on. 850 points for that win. Very good. We got 200 points because Arizona was quote unquote interested. Very rough on Baylor, who decided to offer him a scholarship while he's visiting me. Did they offer it to him like, over email? He checks his phone while he's watching us defeat Arizona, and he's like, oh, look, Baylor's interested. Like he's going to care at that point. All right. Any insane gains from the AI? Not really. Five. Yeah, that base of 533 for Giovanni Montero is rough. Oh, Georgia. 1,000 points because they beat a 2-1 Florida team. They got 530 points for game atmosphere. 530. Wow. I mean, I'm not too worried. I'm still only 330 behind. However, goodness gracious, it also looks like Utah State has done the math and determined that there's nothing they can do to keep me from getting Sykes. Ooh, Army. In real life, can Army offer NIL? I don't think they can. So you're telling me they can in game? How dare you? Do I want to offer money for Jennings? Do I need to? I don't think so. Is Temple interested in him? No, thank God. Nah, I think if I fall behind because they're giving more NIL, I can live with that because I have the last to visit. So I think I'm still okay with that. I'm a little annoyed that like Army, Navy, Air Force can offer NIL in this game. However, if they couldn't, they would never get like any transfer because of the transfer penalty. Or I guess you could code it such that those three schools are exempt from the NIL minimum penalty. That'd be kind of interesting. That'd be a fun little challenge. Like, can you essentially assemble a juggernaut team without NIL? That'd be fun. All right, so quickly checking in on our division. Everyone's either 2-1 or 3-0 in conference. USF is currently ranked 12th in the country. They beat Washington. Oh no, Washington's having a down year. They lost to San Diego State also. They just made the national championship game. What happened? Well, that could make things interesting because while we don't play Oregon, we do play Washington. Something to monitor. Why did I click stop option plays? I misclicked. Cal, do you run the option by chance? No. Oh, we're in trouble. But who is this quarterback? 8 potential, 91 accuracy, and he has 55% completion percentage. Accuracy is a bugged rating, my column. So Cal is 1-3. They beat West Virginia, and then the Pac-12 eviscerated them. They gave up 56 points to San Diego State. Good God. We're favored by 11.5. I have one recruit visiting, Lucas Pratt, who Cal is on the interested teams. I could get burned by this though, because Kent State has the third visit and they're 970 behind. So we'll see. But even then, like, he's not particularly awe-inspiring. Looks like last year Cal beat Utah, so let's try to avenge this loss and see if if we can go 4-0 in the Pac-12 with wins over Arizona and Stanford, I'm really liking the outlook of this season. I forgot to blitz on the first play. I have failed you all. I'll blitz here though. Whoops. There we go. 3 and out. Cal punts. 1 yard, Jeffrey. You know what, Jeffrey? Run it again. There we go. 4 yards. And then 15. We're back. Very good. Conway gets me into the red zone. A 0-yard scramble. Just give their defense the sack at that point. And we have to settle for a field goal. Wow, that was a terrible kickoff return. He started from the end zone, ends up at the 12. They converted on third down again, but Elvin Ivy got a sack. And Jade, I did cover 4 quarters and we sacked him. Oh, this might be a long game for Cal. There we go. Good conversion there to Copeland. Let's keep it moving. The other way, guys. The other way. A sack and loss of 4 yards is not the way. We convert the first down anyway. And Everett Ryan touchdown off the slant. Up 10-0. Tackle for loss on third down. Yeah. All right, we go 3 and out also. Cal's defense ain't doing that bad. Their offense, though, as you can tell, leaves much to be desired. All right, we convert on 3rd and 4. Good. I'm just going to keep running it like. Really, Jeffrey? 1 yard. Thank you. And he gets the touchdown. If we wouldn't have scored a touchdown there, I was going to fire the whole team. 3rd and 1. They're 5 wide. Oh, they got the conversion. Yeah, they got it again. Incomplete. I mean, normally I would try to score with 48 seconds left. However, I'm at my own 3. So I think I'll do the quote unquote smart thing. There we go. All right. To the 3rd quarter, we also start with the ball, which is quite helpful. We convert on 3rd and 4. Very nice. What's our third down rate? We're 5 of 7. They're 3 of 8. We're doing a lot better on third down this game, which is good because historically we were atrocious. Really? Really, Patrick? I offer you 3 deep routes, a medium route, and you throw it to the running back for a gain of 1. Where's your sense of pride? We're up 17-0. You might as well let it fly. Montgomery runs it in again. We're up 24-0. Oh, that's such a terrible drop because we were blitzing the corner from that side. If that linebacker gets blocked and he catches the hitch, that could be like 20 yards. That's such an unfortunate drop. Not that I feel bad for them, but at a certain point I kind of do. All right, we convert to 3rd and 3. Very nice. Really? Really, guys? All right, Montgomery gets me the 1 yard I needed. He's killing me, this guy. 1st and goal at the 2. Second and goal at the 1. And Jeffrey Montgomery gets another touchdown, bringing his total to 3 on the day. And now the backups are in. Yes, backups are in on defense. Let's see if we can keep the shutout going. They punt. Jet sweep there was inspired. Derek Combs went backwards, less inspired. Uh-oh. They missed the field goal. Oh, poor Cal. Got him on the play action. Jet sweep did not work. We punt once again. Oh, John Farmer forces the fumble. They did a jet sweep. Fumbling on a jet sweep has to be like one of the most depressing outcomes in all of football. Because I don't think anyone likes seeing a team call a jet sweep. And then to go from that to just you see your own wide receiver fumble the thing, it's like, man, what could have been? Kicked field goal. That tracks. Go for a field goal for some extra points there, me fumble. They had they had 4 rushing yards. Let's examine. So they had 25, and then we took away 21 of that via sacks. Oh no. Or rather, excuse me, we took away 25 of that sack, so he's even worse. Oh no. That's that's painful. But hey, our running backs did pretty good. Montgomery got 3 touchdowns. Patrick was solid. We are, and everyone, knock on the nearest piece of wood you can. We're not turning the ball over. Like, after I advance the week, I want to look at that summary page and see where we're ranked because I think we had 2 turnovers against JMU. I don't think we've turned it over since then. I could be wrong, but I don't believe so. Quit injuring my O lineman. Also, yay, we're ranked. All right, let me figure out O line first. So Vincent, I mean, yeah, I have to move him in inactive, and I don't want to play. I can't play 6 O linemen. That's too few. Then I'm gonna get injuries left, right, and center. I think here I'm gonna go to 8. No, I can't go to 8. I'm gonna stay at 7. Or I could have Matthew Willis go out there instead of Van. Van just like can't play. Like he can't pass block. Nelson hasn't allowed a sack. He also has only played in 24 snaps total. Logan's doing okay. I think I'm going to stick with 7 and just accept the fact that my linemen are just dropping like flies. But hey, we have a lot of high potential guys that are redshirting. So, which is good because I have what, 5 seniors, 2 juniors in the O line room. So there is that. Visual visit 480 for Pratt. I thought Cal is an interested team. Why did I not get a bonus for beating against an interested team? Is it because they're like so far back that they've never even done target player? I haven't had that happen before. Hmm. I'll have to ask around about that. because I obviously never would have scheduled a week 5 visit had I known that because Cal was so far back, they weren't interested. In my head, being an interested team means you're on this list of teams, regardless of how far back you are. But I suppose it means if you've done a pitch, which it just looks like Cal has not done, even though 38 interests Central Michigan has. That's a little frustrating. That's a little odd. Anyway, summary turn. Yeah, we only had the 2 turnovers, and we're number 6 in the country. Very good. Oh, our time of possession. Oh, our numbers are so bad. Listen, there's a reason for it. Yeah, we're 124th in the country in opposing third down rate. Like that is a legitimate problem. Not getting a lot of big plays or our pass game not being where we want it. That's always happened this entire series. But allowing 50% third down conversion, that is a big problem. That said, we're 4-0 and we're undefeated in the Pac-12. So shrug. Mm. All right. Let us turn to recruiting again. Anybody do anything crazy? Ooh, 674. Air Force had their visit. It went okay. They get no points whatsoever for game atmosphere in college life. That really hurts. So it looks like we'll get Jordan Curriel, which is good. Georgia offered a scholarship to Barber. So that's going to be a chase. BYU had their visit with Colin Martinez. They lost. So they only got 330. That's okay. I believe we're back. OBS just decided it wanted to weep and then die. We should be okay. It's like the stream is back on Twitch. Audio is good. Okay. Sorry about that, everybody. That is, don't get me wrong. OBS has had its times where it's, drop frames, stuff went right. That was just full, complete window had vanished. Anyway, we're back. We're looking at Colin Martinez. Yeah, so it looks like we'll get him guaranteed. No real problems there. Arizona State only did target player for Montero, which is massive. It's looking like Maybe I have to spend money to get Barber. Does he even care about money? He does. I don't even know if I want to. Like, he does have 83 block shed. I feel like I should try to get him in the building because that can legitimately be 100 by the time he's like a junior. So I think that in and of itself is worth the attempt. Yeah, I mean, I'm 1,000 points ahead on 12 guys. So I think we're looking pretty good. I wish Antoine Benjamin had higher potential because his ball security is only a 68. Like, even if, let's say, he's obviously going to redshirt his first JUCO year, but that gives me 2 off-season gain periods to fix his ball security of 68. Just may never fix. That just might be where we're at in life. All right. So, apologies for the OBS snafu. Looks like it is okay again. We'll see if it has to be uploaded as 2 separate videos or if they'll be combined. Be very annoying if I would have to combine all that. I don't think Luke Ojeda is going to get Defensive Player of the Year. He only has 1 sack through 5 games, 5 tackles for loss. I don't think he has that in the cards, but you never know. Texas. Famously, as I've said, they have had like one of the worst saves I've ever seen from a team. They're down to 4 prestige. They're 0-4 this season. They've given up at least 38 points per game. They just barely lost to Georgia by 3. That's got to be depressing. Do they do anything well? Answer, no, not really. They have a lot of drives per game, but that's because other teams are scoring so quickly. They're 57th in pass yard per attempt. There you go. They have had the hardest strength of schedule in the country. So, you know what? You have that to hang your hat on, Texas. We're only favored by 3. I'm sorry. That is insane. You have a winless Texas team. Sure, they're at home, but like only 3 points? Silliness. They have 7 recruits visiting. Let's see what we got here. Tails. It is heads. Texas wins, and they want to receive. They have looked at their defense, and they're like, we do not want them on the field. I would like again to point to the 3-point spread favoring Texas. As Michael Mills forces a fumble, Xavier Dela Cruz takes it to the house for a touchdown. Okay, Texas, you may play now. Uh-oh. 3rd and 1. I mean, I'm just going to blitz him again. No dice. Wow. Okay. All right. They got down the field with pretty relative ease there. To tie it up at 7 apiece. Really? They did engage we did a running back sweep and couldn't get around them? That's upsetting. We convert the 3rd and 8, though. That's big. 3rd and 2. Yeah, I'm going to run it. Montgomery gets me the 2. Very good. There we go. Lucas Copeland gets me the 1st. Jet sweep there was a terrible play call. Field goal. Yeah, that jet sweep was a bad call. Texas punts. Really good punt return from Everett Ryan. 26 yards. That'll do. We convert the 3rd and 8. Very nice. The play action works. Come on. See, Rodney, you complain about playing time and then you get -1 yard on a rush. 4th and 3 at the 6. I am going to go for it here. My argument being going up from 3 to 6 doesn't move the needle that much. And if I don't get it, they have to drive 94 yards to get in the end zone. Hey, we got the touchdown, Everett Ryan on the hitch route. Very good from the lads. Wow, they just got 3 straight first downs. Nice. 37 yards over the middle on the play action. All right, I think we're going to have our first genuine shootout, and it is against a winless Texas team. And they just returned the punt 30 yards into field goal range. All right, good tackle for a loss there from Ivy. So, tied ball game. In a literal change of pace, I'm going to go up tempo here. My idea being if we can score, get a stop, score again. Oh, but Patrick got sacked. Never mind. For Verts, incomplete. There we go. 3rd and 6. They got it. Man. Wow. They're just walking down the field on us. 3rd and 4 from the 9. All right. They have to settle for a field goal. I'll just run it once. Wow. That was really disappointing from our defense. What is Texas in terms of offensive talent? They are 15th in the country. And remember when I said earlier to knock on wood because we hadn't turned the ball over? Patrick threw a pick. They got a touchdown. We are now down by 10 to winless Texas. Oh, boy. There we go. We converted the 3rd and 8. Nicely done. Let's keep it moving. We're at midfield. I don't think a field goal will do us much good at this point. So we are a touchdown or bust. There we go. Good 10-yard run there from Montgomery. And touchdown to Everett Ryan on the curl. Extra point is good. And they get 31 yards on us. Come on, guys. I think we can fairly say I underestimated Texas. I think that is a fair statement to be made. We hold them to a field goal, so it's a 6-point game. I think offensively we're doing really well. It's just Texas are tearing my defense to shreds. So we need to have a good drive here. Score. 3rd and 5. I'm going to pass it. We get the conversion. That's big. All right, we're in the red zone. I'm going to run it once. Gets me 8. Run it again. Why is Rodney Butler running it twice in a row? 2nd and goal at the 6. We're going to pass. There we go. Ahmed McNeil on the hitch route. Extra point is good. We have the lead. At the moment, we're winning the shootout. Big sack. Colin Harrell. No relation to Farrell. 3rd and 7. They got it. They ran it for crying out loud. They beat the nickel blitz, but Nathaniel Bond forces the fumble. Jaden Crum recovers. Massive. All right, let's run the ball. 3rd and 6. Incomplete. We have to punt. And now they have 4 minutes left to do damage. Unbelievable. There we go. 19 yards. I'm blitzing again. I have to. Yeah, they're going to get it. They're going to get like a walk-off touchdown. Okay. 45 seconds, two timeouts. Field goal wins the game. Incomplete on first down. Fair enough. Incomplete on second down, is a little less fair. 8 yards, eh? There we go. We need to get more yards, though. Okay, we're out of timeouts. At Texas's 49, and a 42-yard pass to Marshall Conway gets us to the 7. Folks, we are a field goal away from victory. 24 yards. And it's good. We walk off Texas in splendid fashion. Unbelievable. 8 plays, 68 yards. Got down the field. Oh, man. When it was 3rd and 10 and 4th and 2, things were looking rough. But Marshall Conway, 42 yards, got us to the 7. Holy moly. It said Texas called the timeout. I don't know why, but I'm not going to question it. Holy. I did not expect the game against Texas to be that close. But I mean, they are one of the most offensively talented teams in the country. Wow. Yep. I mean, I threw it 46 times. Like our run game, we didn't get really anything going. Part of that is we were trailing for a lot of that second half. So that was obviously a factor. Copeland, 11 catches, 71 yards. You really expect that number to be bigger, don't you? Oh, man. But yeah, Ryan had 2 touchdowns. Conway had that big reception at the end. But I think now we know what needs to happen if our run game just isn't up to snuff. Because we could not get anything going to save our lives. Patrick did really, really well there. 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. We got the win. Everyone can now exhale. We got the win. We're okay. Was I worried? Yes. Oh, and William Archer is out 7 weeks. That's essentially the rest of the season. Man, quit injuring my guys. Archer goes down. Nah, Farmer should play over him. That's rough for the senior. I mean, he wasn't doing great in coverage, but he did have a forced fumble. Yeah, so now John Farmer is going to play. More of a zone guy, but still decent in man. I think I'd rather him over Reeves. I think Reeves is a bit quicker, little better zone coverage, but I think we're going to see what Farmer's got in. He has allowed 4 out of 7 targets already, which is a little scary. But what can you do? We played in a certified classic. Yeah, you're telling me. You're telling me. We're up to 5-1. We're looking pretty good. Uh-oh. Houston had their visit with Muhammad. 480 points. Yeah, I think we should still get him. Ooh. Curiel may commit soon. My visit is week 11, but we're still ahead enough where, if he wants to commit before his visit, I'm not going to complain. Georgia just put money down on Barber. That is a slight concern. I think if we lose to Temple, like we may find ourselves missing out on a lot of these guys. Oh, Arizona State is back to giving their best pitch. So be it. Yeah, we're ahead again on Sykes now. Looking okay. Yeah, I really hope Washington doesn't snipe me for Webster. But you never know. All right. Recruiting pitches are in. I have so many starters injured. It is quite sad. All right. So we're halfway through the regular season. Let's check in. I think at this point, Luca Hayda is not going to win Defensive Player of the Year, which does kind of suck. But I mean, I'm only playing 5D linemen. I can't go any smaller than that. So he's just going to have to get better results. Patrick was promised 200 passes. He has gotten exactly that. Very good. And then Jeffrey Montgomery was promised 150 carries. He is on track to get 176. So no concern there. Booster objectives have a running back earn all conference. I don't think Montgomery is going to have the yards, but he's on pace for 18 touchdowns, which is insane. Hold opponents to less than 28 points per game. We're currently allowing 19. Haven't played Air Force yet. We have scored 25 points or more in at least 3 games. So that's a guaranteed 2.25 million. Haven't played USF yet. And we have officially held 3 opponents to 25 points or fewer. So we got 1 gold, 1 bronze. It's looking okay. Who do we got up on the schedule? We got San Diego State and then number 7, USF, which is going to be a crazy, crazy game. Do we have any San Diego State? No, USF and Air Force. Okay. All right, so let us, I think, play our game against San Diego State. They are 4-2. They lost to UCF and USF. All right, so as long as they're not playing a Florida school, they're undefeated. Pretty hard strength of schedule. Offensively, I mean, they're not doing a lot. They're getting a lot of drives off, but their time of possession isn't even that good. They force a lot of turnovers. That's why you have the high drive number. They're averaging a little over 2 per game forced. Okay. I'm not too worried. Thinking of somebody else. Oh boy. Let me check in on our old friend right now. How's Vandy doing? 3-2. They've lost to LSU and Southern Carolina. They beat Missouri, Troy, Jacksonville State. What is this cupcake out of conference? Alex Palmer, how you doing? Already 6 picks. Oh boy. I do like that, I was able to find a 4-year starter at Vandy. I think that's a cool little story. And he's a Tennessee kid too. Come on. San Diego State is favored by 5.5. Does my ranking mean nothing? Whatever. They have 10 recruits visiting, including an 80 overall JUCO corner. Wow. Okay. Good for them if they get his signature. Looks like last year Utah shut out San Diego State while they were ranked. Ooh, they have deafening home field advantage. Okay. We will win the toss. We will defer. I forgot to blitz on the first play, and they did 4 verts. That could have been either wonderful or disastrous. I got the 3rd and 5. Unlucky. I do want to check one quick thing. Apologies to interrupt the game. Texas on 3rd down was 5 of 10, so they were a perfect 50%. Yeah, it's not really sustainable to allow your opponent to convert half their 3rd downs. They just got another one there. All right. So they get a field goal for their trouble. Cordova gets a catch. And then incompletion and a sack. Oh boy, 68-yard run. Then they run it in for a touchdown. We are down early to San Diego State here. Not looking great. I did not want to try a screen. I want to try hitches. 4 yards when I need 5 is kind of depressing. Let's run it. All right, we got it. Already 1 quarter down, and our offense has done nothing. Big 3rd and 7 conversion. And Everett Ryan, touchdown on the hitch route. Tie ball game. All right, they failed to convert the 3rd and 7. Thank you. There we go, Conway. I think those 3rd down conversions is a big thing to keep an eye on this season. Because if it's the one thing that keeps our defense on the field a lot and hurts our overall time of possession, it's that. Back-to-back incompletions. I will attempt the 47-yarder. And it's good. Tie ball game. And a quick stop by our defense. I'm going to go for it on 4th and 1. I have a plan. Montgomery gets it. Okay. Incomplete anyway. All right. Yeah, they have enough time to get into field goal range. Big sack there from Jaden Crum. They punt. I mean, the AI doesn't seem to want me to try to go up tempo and put points on the board. I shall do so. Never mind. We have been sacked. I will happily let the half come to an end. All right. There wasn't a lot of football from us. They're averaging 8.5 yards a rush. Obviously, they have that big carry in there, but we're only averaging 2.5 yards. I don't think that is sustainable. Let's run it. There we go. Oh, brother. There we go. 9-yard scramble. We like those. Patrick is intercepted. That's his 2nd in back-to-back games. There we go. Bowman gets the sack. They get the field goal. Okay. Let's move. Let's move. Let's shake. Ooh, McNeil, 15-yard reception. And then Montgomery loses me 3. But Copeland gets me 22. Listen, we are the seesaw offense. Okay? That is our role in this fine establishment. Lucas Copeland, touchdown off the curl. The lead is ours. They're going for it on 4th and 1. I'm blitzing again. And they don't get it. Jamie Pryor with the tackle for a loss. Let's go. A touchdown here. We're up by double digits. I'm just going to keep running it. Like, the run game, I think, seems to have found its footing a little bit. 3rd and 1. I'm going to run it. There we go. Montgomery gets the touchdown. Massive extra point there because now they need 2 touchdowns to take the lead instead of a touchdown, a field goal tying it up. Why are we Oh, they're doing up tempo. I see. All right, they punt. We're gonna go chew clock, obviously, and see if we can't run our way to victory. Big conversion there on 2nd and 8. 3rd and 6. Yeah, I'll pass. And we get it. Lucas Copeland with the first down. No, brother. Oh, and we convert to 3rd and 11. They had us dead to rights twice. Jeffrey, please. There we go. Touchdown for Pride at the end. And Xavier. All right, looks like we're back. I think it's clear what was my temporary fix to this issue is just utterly failed, but that is what it is. All right, I'll have to look into some stuff later. Either way, we get the big win, 31-13. Patrick has the pick, but otherwise I think did okay. Montgomery didn't do well. Only 50 yards. He did get a couple touchdowns, which is good, but they really hurt our run game, which is not nothing. That's 2 games now where we just haven't been dominant on the ground. Only 2 sacks. Xavier Harrison does pick up a pick there at the end. Very good, sir. But yeah, I mean, that's a good win for us. Very happy with that. We advance to 6-1, 5-1 in conference, or 5-0 in conference, excuse me. That'll do. Oh my God. Michael Mills is out 2 weeks. Colin Harrell is out for the season. Quit injuring my guys. Um, yeah, I think Walker Gibbs will take that spot. Michael Mills being out's terrible. 2 weeks. I mean, we have a bye week. That said, I think it might be worth it to play him against USF. Yeah, I think honestly, I'm going to play him against USF for that one game. I think it's too big of a game. We can't afford any calamitous occurrences. Then again, there is always the risk that it becomes a severe injury, but we're just going to kind of have to roll them dice on that. Holy moly. Arizona State had a visit with Caden Martin. 1,300 points. They upset USF. And it was a classic. Wow. They got 1,300. I mean, I have an upcoming visit against Arizona State. So if we win that game, we're probably fine, but that's crazy. USC 765 for Sean Leone. That's a big one. Still no commits, and we're in week 8. I really wish, and it's a shame that, there's not going to be any future updates on this game because the developer, who is a solo developer, has transitioned to developing a essentially NFL version of this game. But I am a little disappointed because I wish, like, at this point, we're more than halfway through the season. If I'm 1,000 or like 1,500 points ahead on recruits, they should commit to me. Like the fact that they don't is it's a little like I am 3,700 points behind on these. Like why? Like what is he waiting for? So that to me is a little annoying. But yeah, I mean that's now 4 starters and one kind of fringe starter that are out for quite the while. So let's advance through the bye week. Hey, we moved up in the rankings. Who lost? Florida State lost to Wake Forest. So they dropped 9. That's rough. JMU, who we lost to at the beginning of the season, by the way, 7-0. Those keeping track at home. Western Michigan had their visit with Benjamin. Oh, and they had too many other running back visitors. I don't know why the AI does this. It's very silly that they do. Because had they not, it would have been a 490-point visit. But instead, it's sub 300. Like, just feels a little silly to me. But what do I know? When do I have Montero visiting? It is the Arizona State game. Okay. Oh, Nevada. 835 points. They upset UNLV. Get a pretty big visit for Raul Graves, who's a very solid run blocking O lineman. I am not too terribly worried. Yeah, I think we'll get most of these recruits by nature of, if our recruiting visits go well. I think where I'm a bit concerned, Montero, obviously, because Arizona State has a better base pitch and they have a first visit. Barber, I think we should be able to get. And the other one really in question is Theodore Sykes, who, even though, well, I mean, even then they had their visit already. I think we should be okay on Sykes. Yeah, so I think Montero, Barber are big concerns. But everyone else, the trailing team is done in terms of visits outside of Washington with Webster. But even then, they're 946 behind. So I am not all too concerned about that one. Good God, look at our division. Damn, the other division is a cakewalk. Why did I say I'd rather be in this one? You have 4 out of the 6 teams in the Pac-12 West that have 1 win or less at conference play. Good God. Why couldn't I be in there? Why couldn't Oregon have been open? Do you know how fast I would have jumped on the Oregon job if they fired Tony Ratter after a 5-8 season? I would have taken that job so quick. Like lightning, people, like lightning. All right, let's do a quick check-in of transfers. So the 2 backup wide receivers I don't really care about. Willie Ryan's potential is terrible. Dalton Jiang just can't really catch. Potential is meh. Brock Turner, I think will become a good tight end, but I don't need, a really good tight end. Lucas Duke transferring, I think I'm okay with. Like Sebastian Grant, I think will become a good quality backup in a couple years. And, unfortunately, we haven't been in like any blowouts. Like Duke, he's appeared in 3 games and he's thrown like 3 passes, 2 passes, and 1 pass. So he hasn't really done anything to showcase himself. I'm a little annoyed the AI felt that this recruit was worth giving like $500,000 to. Like he had 71 arm strength, 63 accuracy, 57 IQ, C plus potential. The AI gave him $500,000. That's insane. Yeah. So I think him walking is fine because odds are Patrick is going to be our starting QB next year. And then that will mean that Dustin Muhammad can get a red shirt, which I think he'll need because the odds that, his arm strength will probably be above an 80 as a true freshman, but his accuracy IQ definitely won't. So I would rather redshirt him just to give me a second off-season gain. And then Patrick can just be my QB 2 years in a row, which isn't what I planned on, if we're being honest. Like, this is a guy who, his arm strength did not move. His accuracy did not move. His IQ went up by 5, and his potential got worse. So it's not exactly he's knocking the doors off of anything, but I think so far he's been a pretty competent quarterback, 74% completion, 1,500 yards, 8 touchdowns, too. But the touchdowns are low, I think. Like, he had 3 touchdowns through the first 5 games and then had 5 in his last 2. So I think that kind of is what it is. But in my defense, I'm trying to get Jeffrey Montgomery his 150 carries, his all-conference accolade. We'll see. We'll see. Can I actually look at the stats leaderboard really quick, please? Rushing touchdowns. He is currently second in the whole country. So that's looking pretty good. This guy has 17. Yuck. He already has 700 yards on the ground. My God. 130 yards, 100 yards, 106. I'm jealous. So, but that is where I will leave off. So next episode, which I think won't be until next week of this series, or I might do 2 a day for 2 days. Who knows? I'll figure it out. We have a pretty tough home stretch. I mean, USF, they're 6-1. Washington on paper is one of the best teams in the country. Temple is 5-2, so they've fallen out of the rankings a little bit. But, who knows? If they beat UConn and Jacksonville State by the time we get to them, they could be ranked. We have a pretty massive game for recruiting against Arizona State with Giovanni Montero and Caden Martin. Those are going to be really close. I mean, yeah, the USF game, I have what? Yeah, 6 recruits visiting, none of whom are really in close races at this point. Like, Raul Graves is the only one. So from a recruiting standpoint, I don't care about USF as much. The Temple game, on the other hand, we're in a fight with Washington for Webster. We're trying to catch up to Georgia for Barber. We're racing with Utah State for Carrillo. So this'll be a fun one, I think. But thank you all for watching. Apologies for the OBS sort of snafu. It looked like there was an issue with the stream keys specifically. And so I'll try to sort that out and figure out what to do from there. But I thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time, folks. We're 6-1, top of our division. Could we win the Pac-12 in year 1? Much to ponder. I'll see you next time.